I think it's time that we cross that final line. Oh, I think it's time to see the